time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by
PSE Archery, Yamaha Outboards, Better the Hunt, Easy Cut, Packer Max, Deer Camp Coffee, Buck Baits, JPO Game Calls, Limwalker Game Calls, Wild Seasoning, Total Peep, Sunrise Archery, Scent Lock, and Scent Blocker.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Another week, Up North Journal Live.
Right on time.
7:30 on the dot. We were trying to get started early, but had a little snag along the way.
Right. You know how that goes.
Facebook likes to change things on us.
Exactly.
Have a good week?
It's been a busy week with work. Literally, work has been...
Yeah, work's not... It's gotten away with a lot of things here lately.
I was on last night till 11 and up for 6 this morning. It was a bit busy. We're busy, which is good. But, yeah, so how about your week?
Busy at work. Like I said, getting in the way of stuff, but what do you think about this weather, man? Is this a crazy October?
This is a crazy October. I was like, do I cut the grass? Monday it was hot. I'm like, no, I'll let it go to Tuesday, and Tuesday bled into Wednesday, and I didn't get out there, and now it's raining, and Thursday, and like, ugh. So...
Tony Thompson's in the cabin tonight.
Absolutely.
Mark Coleman, Tom Genzel, Eric Dabbs.
Look at them all joining in.
To pile in already.
Absolutely. That is awesome. On a Thursday night here in Michigan, we're in the throes of October.
Yes, we are. I want to know out there right now, of the people who are out there watching, who's got their Deer Camp Coffee rocking tonight.
Right.
Chime in real quick. So, I tell you what, are you ready over there?
I'm ready.
Let's just go ahead and just jump into this thing tonight because our guest is sitting anxiously awaiting.
Yes, he is.
Here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight, a little warm October evening here in the middle of the week with none other than Danny DePaul.
I'm sad.
What are you sad about?
It was a bad start of our week.
You know what? It really was. And actually, I want to change the tenor for just a second.
Exactly. I want to get this.
We need to do this tonight.
Yes.
For those of you in the outdoor industry, you may or may not have heard this. Close friend of ours, former sponsor of the show, Nick Percy from Killer Food Plots, lost his battle with COVID this week. And that was last Sunday night, I do believe. It's been all over Facebook and everything. But he was a heck of a guy, and we actually saw him.
We saw him at Woods and Water a month ago.
Actually, almost like a month to the day.
Right, exactly. And it's one of those things, we've talked to him countless number of times at ATA, any show around here in Michigan, we've talked to him. Like you said, sponsor of the show.
Yep.
He's been through everything.
Yeah.
Promoting his KFP,
Yep.
Killer Food Plots company. And then to get the news Friday that the prayer warriors were needed on Facebook, and then Sunday night, Monday morning, when the post was made,
He had
sad.
passed. So he was a warrior, man. He was strong as an ox, and that's all I want to say about that. Just say a prayer for his family and his friends, and just think about him if you get a chance to spend a few quiet moments this week. So
Absolutely.
it stinks, man.
It does.
All right, so now let's carry on with the show.
You know what, how about we change it, and how about we go up north where it's a nice 61 degrees, FM 123 up in Newberry, who is carrying the show. As you can see, it's getting dark.
There's a car.
And a car going by.
There's a car in Newberry tonight.
Right. We've talked about Cedars up there. We hear it's good pizza. We got to try it. There's another car.
Wow.
And they've got Deer Camp Coffee there. So
Absolutely.
big shout out to FM 123 up there.
That's right. Thanks for carrying the show for us.
Now, to our sponsors. How about we talk about Buck Baits? Deer Camp, Buck Baits, brick and mortar store down in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Get over there at 15 and Dash Park. Check them out. If you're doing some shopping, use the promo code UNJ20. You get 20% off your order at buckbaits.com. big shout out to Lincoln Roan over on the west side of the state. Never too late to get your Packer Max in for Christmas. Use the promo code UNJ25. You'll get $25 off your order there. JPO Game Calls. He's on the show, him and Amy. Is working his game calls. Get 10% off UNJ10 for 10% off your order at JPO Game Calls.
It's not too late to get one of those single-hand use grunt tubes.
Not at all. WildSeasoning.com. UNJ 2020 gets you 10% off your order for anything Wild Seasonings. Put it on whatever you're cooking. Even popcorn.
I've been using it this weekend. Chicken.
Chicken? Ah, gotcha.
Absolutely.
Deer Camp Coffee. Mike's having cold brew right now. You get 10% off your order. UNJ10. Get 10% off your order. DeerCampCoffee.com. Get on over there. Check it out. Like I said, the brick and mortar store is at 15 and Dodge Park in Sterling Heights, Michigan.
And don't forget, we've got our own line of coffee as well.
Absolutely. Check out our own line of coffee over there. UNJ Brew.
And I've got my cold brew rocking tonight.
You do. But speaking of rocking, how about we rock some PSE bows tonight?
That's right. Let's just go ahead and get in with it here with our title sponsor of PSE Archery. We've got none other than Cade Tropila, all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Cade, what is going on tonight?
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Hey, we're waiting for this weather temperature change coming this weekend, hopefully to drop a little bit so we can get in the woods and maybe actually get the rain out of here. It's been wet and it's been hot.
Yeah, that's not what you want. You need a cold front to come through to get those deer moving for you guys.
This will be the first big one that's pushed through the state since archery season started here. So, but out there in Arizona, you guys are kind of used to the heat out there. I know Bobby Vargas always told us he was shoveling sunshine.
Oh, 24/7. It's like living in an oven is what I like to say.
Yeah. That's what it feels like right now here in October. It's been, it's 77 today.
It was warm today before the front came through.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things here in Michigan. When we get a front to come through, it gets cold. Out there in Arizona, it probably gets more sunshine or something like that.
Yeah, right? Something crazy.
Right? All right, Cade, it is the first time you are on the Up North Journal podcast. So what we need to do first of all is find out who you are. We talked to you at ATA. We met you a couple years ago, but now it's the first time on, and we want to get a little bit to know Cade and tell us about yourself.
So Cade, myself, I'm from a small town in Southern California. Grew up in a ski resort area, and then went off to college. Tore my ACL. My good buddy at the time was the general manager of an archery store. So he said, "Hey, dude, I know you just got surgery, so you got nothing to do. Why don't you just come, you clean the bathrooms or work on bows or do whatever you need to do to get by." Started doing that, jumped right into it, got a new bow at the time compared to what I had, and then just from then on, just took off in the archery world, just started hunting more and more and more, and then went up to Northern California to Chico to where I got my bachelor's degree, worked at Deer Creek Archery, a great archery store up there, and then just continued working as I got my bachelor's degree. And then once I graduated, I kind of had an in or knew some people at PSE, and it just kind of worked out. And then from there on, just been steady getting after it and working hard, and hunting just as hard as many times as I can.
So where did you start in PSE? What was your entry job there?
So I initially started as it was just an inside sales rep, essentially, I guess what you could call it, and had helped along and had a territory of 8 states that I assisted with, Colorado, New Mexico, Montana, Idaho, Utah. So just kind of doing that. And then since I was in-house already, just kind of fell into doing all the marketing stuff. Every time we would do a photo shoot with target shooters or hunters that would come in, and then just kind of gradually evolved more into the marketing stuff as we branched off and went into a different sales course or pattern.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You worked in an archery shop. Were you primarily a hunter at the time, or do you also do target shooting?
So mostly just hunting. I am a target shooter. I do like going out, but to be honest with you and frank, I'd rather shoot real animals than go out and shoot 20 yards. But, I still enjoy doing that, but I'm more of a hunter than going out and shooting 3D targets or paper.
So you go up against Bobby every once in a while, lunch hour, and have a head-to-head competition for
Yeah, I think
lunch?
he owes me a lemonade or two from how many times I've beat him.
Oh,
Well, that's going to come back to haunt him, so we'll get him on that one. But that's awesome. It's one of those things, you're into the company, and now you're in the partnerships as well. In being with Pete Shepley and how that all works out there, and we being with PSE for the years that we have been, how's the, with all this stuff going on, how's the company doing? Have you guys fully moved?
We have not moved yet, so everything's still in Tucson. Everything's still coming out of here. We have another 3.5 years in the building, that the factory that we've had that everyone's known or come accustomed to. Just downgraded as opposed to having the full factory. We now have half the factory, so still here. Can't quite disclose on where we're going to or what the next move is, but to your point or your question, yep, still in Tucson.
All right, it's one of those things. Hey, it's going good. Don't fix it. It's not broke.
Exactly.
it's not broke.
Yep.
Right on. There you go.
So, what's your favorite game you like to hunt? Obviously, you don't like the dots, so you can't hunt dots.
It's not that I don't like them. I just, I don't know. I don't know what I don't like about it. But, so, I would say mule deer, the challenge of mule deer. I'll be frank and honest, I've never had my own elk tag. I've been on multiple elk hunts that were successful. I've just never had my own tag, so I can't say that hunting elk is my personal favorite just because I've never had my own elk tag. So with that, I would have to say 100% mule deer. Coos deer is challenging as all heck, but I like mule deer. I'd say probably over coos deer.
Have you hunted whitetail?
I have, yeah. No, I haven't shot one yet with the bow, but I have shot one with the rifle. So
Okay. Awesome. It's just one of those things, getting that elk tag. Do you have a preference of where you want to get it? Is there like a state, like, some people, I want to go out to Colorado, or they want to go out to Wyoming, or what were you, or would you like to just stay in Arizona?
So I would love to draw an Arizona tag just because it's the home state. And then I grew up in California, so I would love to go hunt the Tule elk that are in California. Or go up to Montana. Montana's probably my dream state to go. If I could just pick, spend an unlimited amount of money and go do it right, I would probably pick Montana. I just love Montana. So,
Is the Thule elk in California, are those the ones that are out on an island, or not?
no, possibly. Not that I know of or I'm aware of. I know they're in Northern California, and then there's a decent herd that's by Mammoth.
Okay. I had read something one time, and I thought, maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought it was maybe Thule. They had like a herd out on an island somewhere in the just off the coast of California, and it was like a preserve in case something were to happen. They had a place that they could get breeding stock from. And I can't remember if it was the Thule or not, but that kind of rings a bell though for some reason. Just wondered.
Yeah, it's quite possible there's some Thule elk on like Catalina Island or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Well, it seems Joe Rogan just got one out in California, so you need to tap on his shoulder and say, hey, where did you get yours? He was with, it sounds like he was with Dudley out there in California, and he got one, so.
Is that it right there?
That's Joe Rogan's elk right there.
I'm going to bring that up on the web here.
All right.
Yeah, he shot a great bull.
Wow. Yeah, he did. Wow. Yeah, he did.
That thing's got some back scratchers.
Right?
Wow.
Definitely a nice bull there.
He was with John when he shot that?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but speaking of that, just to tease everybody in the first segment, we'll just go right off the bat. Next Tuesday, they are going to be releasing a PSE bow on Tuesday. I don't know, is there a specific time that they're going to release?
We haven't nailed that down yet.
Okay.
I would probably assume there's going to be an all-day, different kind of segments rolling out.
Okay.
But,
So stay tuned. Next Tuesday, new bow from PSE coming out.
Did they leak the name out this week on a little tease?
They did. So I believe John posted on his Instagram Levitate. So as far as I'm aware of, it'll be the Levitate is the name of the bow.
Okay, a bow that can help us levitate, maybe. That's what I need. I'm all levitate into the stand.
I'm all about that. Come on now.
Right on. I tell you what, we're bumping up here close to our first break. When we come back, we'll shift gears a little bit. We'll talk maybe about some bows and things of that nature, and what you guys have got in the lineup for this year. So let's step outside real quick, take care of this break, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, everybody, get your questions out there ready for the next segment. We're going to talk about some PSE bows. We're going to talk about one of somebody's favorite bow. Actually, mine too. Quickly becoming
right,
a favorite of mine.
You know, we say it every year. They just keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah,
you like, you know, at some point you think it's going to stop, but it doesn't. That's what I love about it.
Right.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back, second segment of the show. Sitting here talking with Cade about PSE, all good things PSE, and we had some good stuff come out this year. Cade, the EVL. I've got my 32 sitting here behind me, and before we started the show, you said you like the 34.
I do. I would argue against anyone and say the Evo, EVL, both the 32 and the 34. Me specifically, I think the 34 is hands down the best hunting bow ever built and ever made.
You know, and we say it every year. You know, it gets better and gets better. At what point does it stop? You know, and that's the thing about you guys. You guys listen to the customers, figure out what we're asking for. You know, make little changes here or there, whatever, to help further that progression along. It seems like every year you guys just knock it out of the park. Every single year.
Well, yeah, that's kudos to a lot to our engineers. Our engineers, they're just the best in the business, really, when it comes down to it. The stuff that they can come up with and engineer and design and then actually put out for everyone to, you know, try and use is just, it's incredible.
Well, have you got your EVL there behind you?
Yeah, let me grab it real quick.
I got mine here. Danny, you left yours at home, I take it.
I did leave mine at home. He's got a 34.
There was no reason to bring yours then, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, go ahead and run it on down here for us. Let us know the ins and outs of top to bottom on it.
On the bow itself, or how I have my bow set up?
Let's do the bow itself, then we'll talk about how you've got yours set up.
So for the audience, if they're not aware or not, but you got the Evo EVL. It comes in a 32 axle and a 34 axle. The 34 axle, we offer it with the SE cam and the EC cam. The EC cams are bigger, well-known, evolved cam. So the EC cam being bigger, it offers a bigger draw length. It goes to, I believe, 31.5, and then the SE cam only goes to 30. So if you're kind of in the ballpark in the middle of the EC cam, the SE cam is going to have great efficiency for you and, you know, generate those speeds. Myself being 6'2" with about a 30.5, 31 inch draw, I generally graduate go to the EC cam. So that's what I like. The EVL 34, it's 4.7 pounds, so it's right there in the middle of everyone in the industry. Hoyt and Matthews, all aluminum bows. We offer it in the 60, 65, 70, and 80 pounds. I shoot 70. That's really, to me, all you need, even 60. But there's people in the industry like Rogan, like Dudley, like Cameron Haynes that like to shoot the heavier poundages. So got to be able to offer that. We offered it in a couple different solid colors and multiple camo options. We got Cutie Verde, First Light Fusion, Mossio Country, solid color like this one is tan. So I got some bad lighting in here. Black as well. So hands down, it has everything. And for all the folks, I know a lot of Midwestern people and myself in the past years shot the Q80, and then now they have the Q80 Integrate Rest, and we have the mounting for it. So all things great on this bow. There's really not a lot you can complain about.
How do you like the hand feel?
So, do you guys use it with the rubber on there, or do you take the rubber off and shoot it just riser?
I've got mine with the rubber hand grip on it.
So, I personally like just the riser. But 100% when it gets colder, I'll put the rubber on.
Mm-hmm. Is there a reason why you prefer the Bear riser over just shooting with the rubber all the time?
The reason why I prefer it may be wrong or correct. It's just there's less in my hand, so I feel I can get it right on that meaty part of your thumb right here. So it just feels more connected to the bow, if that's the right way to put it.
Okay, so you're looking for a thinner type grip to get the feel in, as we call the meaty of the hand, whereas
Yep.
I like to feel like I guess the fullness of it, the in the same part. Obviously, we're looking for the same kind of feel, but you get it off of a different way, being a bear, as opposed to having the rubber on, which is kind of cool. And I know other people like to really feel like a really fat, like an old Darton wood handle type thickness, or like you going right down to the bare metal.
Well, for me, it's the tackiness of that rubber. It's more about, just a good solid grip, not grip, but the grip itself, feeling solid, not sliding on your hand or a glove if it's cold. To me, it's a good solid contact, and that's what I like about that grip, like you were saying, when it gets colder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and that axle at 34, you're looking at speeds coming off the bow. It was rated at 338. Have you run your arrows through it to know where you're coming at?
Yeah, so my arrow's cut right at about 29 3/4. It weighs 450 grains, and I'm shooting it at 301 feet a second on the dot.
There you go. And so you're shooting like 200 faster than Bobby.
Pretty much, yeah. Bobby does,
Oh,
who knows what that kid's doing these days.
Somebody's getting a call in the morning.
He's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of the 34 to the 32, we're looking at the website right now. The 32, if you like a smaller axle like Mike's got, goes anywhere from 341 to 345, depending on your arrow setup. And there's only a 2-ounce difference between the two bows. So, basically an ounce, an inch.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're shooting that like that, now, are you shooting a thumb release or finger trigger?
Yeah, so I shoot a finger trigger. And the reason for that is be the first one to say I'm not a professional shooter. I definitely punch the trigger here and there. And I'm more consistent under pressure on an animal punching the trigger with my finger as opposed to a thumb button. So I hunt with the trigger, and I usually target shoot with the thumb button.
Okay.
That's awesome. It's truthful, right? You understand what you're about, and that's what it is. Now, for me, I got the 34 myself, but I'm going to use that in the wintertime in the winter leagues to shoot at those wonderful dots that don't move. And so that's why I got the 34. Mike got the 32 because you like the shorter axle to axle.
Yeah, I do. I prefer that just in the tree stand of having less item there to get in the way of anything. Like maybe if I got the shooting rail up, however I'm set up and what tree stand I'm in. I fell in love with that 28 a couple of years back because it was really short. But I tell you what, this thing is a dream to shoot. And the thing that really impressed me about it, Cade, was when we got out to Sunrise Archery to set up. I mean, Danny can attest to this because he had his set up, I think, the week before I did. It set up so quick and so easy. I mean, we put all the stuff, we put the rest on it, we put the sight system on it, and got everything set up level and true, and bang. I mean, almost the first shot, it was almost a perfect bullet hole. It was so minor that we made a minor adjustment. Before you know it, we're tearing bullet holes with these things.
Yeah, that's mine was very similar to setup. There's those one-offs that come out of the box and they're wrong, but I would agree with you and say that they're very easy to tune and very simple coming out of the box.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very simple system to tune it in. So speaking of that, what rest are you? So go over the rest of your bow now that we've talked about. Oh, before we leave the EVO, what's the price range we're talking for the 32-34?
Off the top of my head, is it $15.99? No, that's the carbon. $14.99 or $13.99? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I should know that. I apologize to everyone out there for not knowing that.
You got to go to the website and check it out. And then head over to your local dealer.
Right, and these are the pro bows, so you're only going to find them in the dealer, so you got to go over to a dealer and shot. I had a friend of mine call me up and says, hey, I'm looking for a new bow. I got him over to Sunrise. I almost said the other place. And he shot, actually, they lined up a few bows. There was, and this is no lie, there was the PSE, there was a Bear, and there was a Matthews. And he lined them all up, shot them all, and the best one he liked was the PSE. It was just for him. And Cade, that's what we tell everybody that asks us, like, oh, what's the best bow out there? Well, it's the best bow that shoots good for you.
That's really it. I'm biased as I am towards PSE 100%. Everyone should buy a PSE, whether they like it or not. But
Right.
when you do go into a store, the best way to put it, it's similar to mountain bikes or trucks and cars. It's you might go in thinking the Ford's the best, and then you hop in a Chevy, and then the Chevy is what it is for you. And same thing, you might go in thinking PSE is the best, and then you come out with the PSE. So,
Right.
no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's like that. You just gotta shoot what feels comfortable for you. If you like it and it's gonna make you happy after you purchase it, then that's what you gotta roll with. But there definitely are better bows if you are more, I wouldn't say advanced of a shooter, but if you've been behind a bow for a while, different bows are definitely better than others.
Well, you made Danny really happy doing the Ford Chevy comparison, seeing as how he works for General Motors.
Yeah, I like that one. Good follow, that one.
Yep.
Oh.
And so go through the rest of your bow. We see it there. You got the arrows on and everything. What kind of rest you shooting with, and go on through that.
So, just the other day, I just put this rest on, but I shoot the AAE Pro Drop limb-driven rest. That's what I like to shoot. Any limb-driven rest, preferably to me, I'd prefer over a cable-driven rest. I shoot a black gold sight. I shoot a one that's adjustable, a 5-pin adjustable. I can get it. I think I was hitting out to 108 yards a couple of weeks ago. I'm shooting the AAE Mountain Series stabilizers with a back bar or their gripper mount, so I can run a back bar so everyone can get to see a look of it. I run a tight spot 5-arrow quiver, and I shoot gold tip arrows with AAE fletchings. So pretty much it's all AAE, and then my sight is black gold.
You was talking about a limb-driven rest. Danny and I both swapped over to limb-driven rest this year. Explain to people the difference between that and the cable-driven, and why you might want to consider one of those.
So I'm not the most technically advanced person when it comes to all this.
I don't want to throw you under the bus.
No, so I'm just going to tell the audience, so that way if they make fun of me in the comments or, if I go viral. So, so as far as I know, that with a cable-driven rest, it's not as efficient. So if you hit the back wall or you start to creep, your rest is going to want to do that as well.
Right.
Whereas with a driven rest, once you get to that back all the way, it's not going to have as much play.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I know, that's like the main or the biggest thing. I could be incorrect. If someone wants to chime in, they definitely should.
No, that's a correct statement. Derek over at Sunrise explained it pretty much exactly like how you did when we were looking at him, and we're going over from the cable-driven, and I've always seen him, and it's like, so we asked him about it, and that's the same one he shot for years, so we switched over this year, and so far, I have no complaints about it.
Yeah, I love it.
So, and then it's silly, but I know with like a QAD and a ripcord, you just pop it up, and your arrow's always right there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just like the fact that sometimes I forget to do that, but with a limb-driven, no matter where my arrow is, say it's on the AAE, or this, for instance, this is a Hamski, I can just, if my arrow is knocked, all I got to do is draw back, and I know the arrow is going to lift up and fall down into the seat of the blade, whichever blade's on there. So again, to me, just the simplicity of knowing that my arrow's always going to lift, and I don't got to click anything or hold it with my finger down. It's just there it is, ready to go.
That was one of for the first couple of times of me getting used to letting the bow pick up my arrow instead of like on the QAD, turning it up, putting it into preload position.
Right.
It was like, oh, okay, let the bow do it. And Now it's okay, but at the first couple times I was kind of nervous. No, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's definitely something to get used to. So, but ever since shooting one, I've been shooting one for the last, I don't know, I'd probably say 3 years. No reason to go back. I wouldn't, if that's what I needed to set up and that's what I had and everything, I would more than not shoot a QAD or like a ripcord. Great rest. They both companies make great rest.
Oh no, I've
shot both of them.
Yeah, we've shot them for years up until this year. We just wanted to try something different, just like your sight. Which black gold do you get?
So I believe it's the Ascent Vertic Assault. So just my pins aren't micro, just the housing is, and I wish I would have got it the reversed way. But
okay,
it's a tank of a sight, and yeah, so I can't speak highly enough of Black Gold and what they have to offer.
This is my first year with a Black Gold sight, and I'm pretty ecstatic about it. And had a story today with Derek over at Sunrise about adjustable sights, and we'll have to have him on the show to explain that one.
Right.
But I tell you what, that sight is just, the Black Gold is just lights out. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. To me, the pins are super bright. I can see those super well. Like I said, it's built like a tank. Mine go through some pretty gnarly stuff on some of the hunts I go on, and if something does go awry with the bow, their customer service is just phenomenal. So.
Oh, cool. Good to know, because I want. Do you have a light on that sight?
I do not. Just because I don't think it's legal in Arizona, nor am I ever. Okay. I don't see it. So my hunting is so much different than your guys'. I don't.
Okay, no problem at all. I tell you what, we're coming up on our second break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some other bows that are in the line that I got some questions on.
All right. All right, we're going to take a step outside. We'll be right back after this. Okay, guys. Yes.
Eric Dabbs uses the Vapor Trail, which I think is the one we got.
All right. Come on, computer. Play nice.
I know, right?
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Talking Bows.
Third segment of the show, Talking Bows. And I tell you what, when we talk bows, it's kind of an interesting thing that, the Evolve cam itself,
mm-hmm.
I think they have the basis of one of the best cams on the market, if not the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how much they tweak it a little bit to get whatever they do. And I tell you, it's kind of cool.
Cool. It makes it, the bow shoots better than I'm able to, put it that way.
Well, definitely.
It makes me look like I almost know what I'm doing.
So, Cade, you talked about one of your wish ones going out to Montana, maybe doing some elk, like a Western style. Obviously, you're in Arizona, so you're out west. Talk a little bit about the carbon bows that PSE has, the lightweightness that they offer just for that type of style hunting.
So we make the best bow for our backpack hunter. The carbon bow, I believe it's coming in, if you're on the website, I can't get it to pull up, I believe it's 3.5 pounds. So
I have the Carbon Air Stealth Mach 1 up, and yes, coming in at 3.5 pounds.
So cool, I was correct. Yeah. So 3.5 pounds, and like I said, so it being all carbon, the handle's all carbon, the grip's carbon, so the bow's not going to get cold for you. It shoots lights out, comparable. It has the Evolve cams on there, so you can shoot it. I can be a testament to it. You can shoot it out to 100 yards, and then Western hunting, you may take a shot that's further than 60 yards. So having a bow that you can pack in that's literally lightweight and run a back bar on it and be able to add that much weight if you prefer to and pack it in, and then have the confidence also to shoot it when you're that far in. Let's just say, at a 40-yard shot on a cliff, at a mule deer, or you take a 80-yard shot on an elk that's in a meadow or something. So it truly is, the bow itself is a testament to a backpacker's best bow you could honestly have.
And also, they're coming in relatively, for the backpack, at 32.5, a nicely fitting bow for the backpack.
And not only is it a great bow for the backpackers, but generally speaking, women don't hold up as much mass weight as men do. So a bow weighing 3.5 pounds it's a great bow for women as well, and or younger kids or older folks that that just can't hold up an aluminum bow due to the mass weight in the shoulder. It's a great shooting bow with the evolved cams, and it's a lightweight. So.
And then you can see on the screen here as we're talking that they come in 5 ranges from 50, 60, a 65, a 70, and an 80. So, like you said, if you can do that 50 pounds and you want a nice light bow to carry around, and you don't get cold if it on the handle if it gets cool, it would be a good one to go out and check out.
So, and then so I know we're talking about the carbons. Definitely for all the folks listening and watching and everything, what we have coming out later this year is going to be some pretty awesome stuff regarding carbon. So,
so tease number 2 in the 3rd segment. Stay tuned. More carbon coming from PSE.
100%.
There you go. That's awesome.
Time frame wise, are we looking like spring of 2022-ish?
I'll just say between now and then.
Between now and then, okay. All right.
So,
there you go. That's pretty specific. I like it. Oh, man. So, now, with the carbon bows, you're talking about a little bit about the lighter weights for women or for older people or for kids. And you think, what is the EVL command? That was 4.2 pounds? Is that right? You think...
Well, let's just say that.
Yeah, it's, you're only talking 3/4 pound, but when you're talking, that's almost 25% of the weight of that bow. And I know when we were at ATA, and the first time I picked a carbon bow up, I was blown away. It really, how much difference it really does make. And it does make a big difference when you come into something like that, doesn't it?
Oh, it's huge, yeah. Especially if you've just been picking up an aluminum bow your whole life, or an aluminum bow is the first bow you pick up when you go into a dealer, and then you go and you grab our carbon Mach 1. Excuse me. It's astronomical, the difference in how incredible it feels to pick up a 3.5 pound bow.
To shift gears just a little bit, we touched just a little bit. I asked you about target bows. If you shot target, do you have anything there behind you? One of the newer target bows that you'd like to talk about?
I do not with me. I wish I had to do some stuff that I was putting on all my accessories on my Super RTX. But our new Super RTX target bow, I think, is falls in line with our supers that we've had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of Kyle Douglas's favorite bows. And I've gotten a chance to shoot the Super RTX 40 a little bit here and there, and I can't rave about it enough. It's phenomenal.
So the Super RTX is coming in at 37, and you said there's a 40 as well? Yes.
That is correct, yep.
A 40 as well. Now, for the target archers that looking for that nice long axle, that 40-inch, it comes in at 5 pounds as well. So, and it comes in at various colors as well.
Various colors, and then what people know PSE about, especially with our target line, I believe both bows we offer them in the EM cam and the SE cam. So for the target people who like our EM cam and everything. So.
Right, exactly. So that's another bow you want to get out. If your dealer has one for target archery, go ahead and shoot that one. If you're thinking about getting into target archery, it's a great bow. I think we shot that one, but it's just one of those things. You got to get out and try these bows. That's one of the most important things that we can't stress enough about. We talk about them, but until you shoot them, you're not gonna. Don't trust what we say.
That's right. Go out and put one in your hand and get to your local dealer and actually shoot these things, and you'll understand what we're talking about. While we're sitting here talking about the target line, I remember something that Pete Shepley told us, I think it was 2 years ago, about wanting to get more people into target archery. And he said it's easier to take a target archer and make them a hunter versus taking a hunter like us and make them a target archer. And with that in mind, and somebody's like, well, I'd like to try it, but I just don't want to spend a lot of money on a target bow, getting it all set up, and to only find out whether I do or don't like it. It's a big initial investment. What's one of an entry level target bow that somebody could have some confidence with and get out and have some fun with as well?
If they just wanted to start and primarily just shoot targets, I would say like a Stinger is a great bow. Yeah, I know it's not a target bow, but it's something you can recreationally shoot. You can just pound paper if that's all you wanted to do, and then if you wanted to hunt with it, you could. But if you wanted to jump into something in the target realm and just shoot target, the Drive NXT is a great bow for that.
Okay.
And then if you wanted an actual target bow that just kind of gradually get yourself into, the Laser is without a doubt the best entry level target bow with the NF cam system on there. It draws insanely smooth and is super forgiving for anyone to shoot, whether they're novice or they're an expert.
Okay. And for those out there that want to get a youngster into archery, they do have the Uprising, that the draw weight is adjustable from 12 to 72 pounds. So that's definitely a good grow into bow.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, it's definitely a good grow into bow. I wouldn't necessarily say it's something you want to shoot after you kind of are a teenager. You probably want to jump into something maybe a little bit more technically advanced, but a great entry bow, to your point.
Well, like you said, you're going to start somewhere, and like everybody, I don't know anybody in this industry that doesn't get the itch after a few years of
right.
Okay, I got to upgrade.
Right.
Especially if you shoot them. Some people out there that tried and true, they keep shooting their older bows, but then you say, hey, just try it, and they're like, wow, what have I been missing?
I know we've done that with how many people,
right?
If somebody, we get them to the shop, and it's like, well, let's just get one in their draw range here so we can get you out there and just pound some paper with it. And after they shoot the first time, they're like, wow, the technology has advanced so much so quickly. And that's one thing, back to your engineers, how quickly that they adapt to something and make things better. It's just simply amazing.
It really is how impressive it's crazy how impressive our engineers are able to just flip on a dime. Like one of our bosses, or like you said, like consumers are kind of leaning this way, or the market's dictating we're going to go this way, and how quick and able they are to just produce what we need, and it sells. And so it's a real testament to how ingenuity, how good they are.
Well, and that kind of leads me into the next question about working with John Dudley as well. I mean, when y'all started that partnership, that just the little tiny things. I remember that first day when they made the announcement and they brought the bow out, and you could just see the little tweaks that he did, and everybody's just blown away. It's like, yeah, well, that'd be cool to have on one of mine, like the little kickstand, something as simple as that.
Yep, that, and the dual burger bowl button, the fixed cable guard, and
yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of it's been great. Our partnership with John has been unbelievable. So I can't speak highly of what he's brought to the table and what he's been able to do and grow our business and everything. So it's been.
When we interviewed him there live on the show floor that day, a couple hours after they announced it, he said, he goes, look, I could have went somewhere else and got more money, but he talked with Pete, and Pete said, come on in, tell us what you want, and they gave him the freedom that he was looking for to help design bows instead of just putting one in his hands. Hey, would you shoot this for us?
Yeah, so he's been to the factory a couple of times and has met with engineers and kind of goes over some stuff. So, and then our engineers too. So, not taking anything away from our engineers or Dudley, but they definitely work hand in hand. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't argue that, one is superior than the other. So it's definitely a teamwork kind of makes the dream work ordeal here. So,
well, it's that knowing how he communicate what he wants, and your engineers being able to pick up on it and bring it to his hand of what he's looking for. That shows on both ends, right? That your engineers are really acceptable to what he's wanting to have, and he's a good explainer at doing so.
Oh, 100%. I agree with what you said. That's probably a better way to explain it, is how you said it.
Well, and they got to have confidence in each other, and that right there shows. I mean, just by the partnership that they have. So that is incredible. I tell you what, we're close to here to our last break, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And I know we've got a couple pictures that you sent to us, and we want to talk a little bit about the hunting side and some of the things that you've been out and put an arrow into. So
let's do it.
All right, let's step outside. We'll take our last break, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, folks, last break. Going to talk a little fun, little pictures that he sent us so we can talk about. How's that dog doing?
He's doing good, actually. I think I got him to calm down a little bit. I found a toy for him to chew on, so.
We haven't heard a peep out of him.
I know, so I'm actually kind of worried now that I haven't heard anything from him, so.
It's like, okay, what is he into?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So his name's Jackson. He's a purebred Weimaraner. He's my bird dog, so.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's just out of control. There's really no other way to put it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll lead in with I got a question about that. We'll kind of lead into with the hunting segment with that. All right, here.
So a question for you guys. I don't know if this should be on air or not, but do you guys have venomous snakes up there?
Yes, we've got one.
We have one kind.
Yeah, the rattlesnake, the
Mississauga Eastern.
Yeah.
Mississauga Eastern rattlesnake.
Are they like? Do you see them often or
Never
no?
seen one. Never.
Oh, good golly.
And actually, it's funny you bring that up. I down where Danny's at, I used to live within 5-6 miles of him. I'm about 20 miles from him now. But long story short, where he's at, about 200 yards is the park, the state park.
Yeah,
200 yards from his house, his backyard is one of our state parks. And in that state park is the research facility. It is the research area for that rattlesnake.
Oh, lovely.
there's nothing better when you're going into the park and there's these little signs that say rattlesnake area.
Yeah, and they chip them and they study them. But you know what? We've hunted turkey in there, and it's only about 450 acres. And I've sat down on the ground in that place I don't know how many times in thick nasty stuff down by the water in the timber. Never ever have laid eyes on one in all the years. And we've been hunting in there 10 years?
10, 11 years, 12 years now.
It's been a while.
And I tell you what, Cade, if I go in there next time and I walk across one, guess who's getting a foot?
I'm just going to put this out there. You're going to see one or something's going to happen because the reason why I asked is because I'm a rattlesnake magnet.
Oh, you are?
I go out with people that have never seen a rattlesnake, and then, boom, there's one. We go mountain biking, boom, there's two.
Okay.
Just the other day, there's one, 5 houses down from me, just in the road.
It's your fault then. We're going to blame it on you.
My roommate,
Oh, my Lord.
said the same thing. We were out, I could tell this story out hunting, but on air. But we were out hunting, and at the top of a mountain, the highest peak you can get on the mountain. And my roommate sits down, starts glassing, and then I was like, all right, I'm trying to find a spot to glass as well, and there wasn't a good spot, so I was like, I'll just go sit with him. Step over the rock, go to step down, and there's a rattlesnake probably no more than 8 inches away from his boot. And I had to jump over it, and then he hadn't seen it. We're at the top of a mountain. He hadn't seen a rattlesnake in Arizona yet. And sure enough, I almost got bit by one. So
at the highest point. That's funny. It's not funny that you almost got bit, but it's the story's funny.
Oh, yeah. So everywhere I go, there's a rattlesnake, it seems like.
All right. So he's going to go turkey hunting with you when he comes to Michigan.
Thanks.
We'll probably see one for sure, like a record, 14 rattlers on there.
That was my luck. We'd run into the nest.
Yeah.
That in springtime. That would be my luck.
There you go.
Hey, what's that noise?
All right. Here we go. Stand by. In 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. And as we always say, for the people on the podcast, you got to watch the live stream. Make sure you go over to YouTube and catch the replay of it, because in the commercial breaks is when we have the most fun.
It is, and you learn some things about people, and now you just wish it's great.
Yeah, so like he said in the commercial break, he's going to come hunting turkeys with you, and you'll find a surprise.
Right, so tune into the live stream on YouTube when I get it out there in a couple days and check it out.
Well, also in the commercial break, we were talking a little bit about his hunting dog. And you said that this is your bird dog, the Weimaraner you have there. Jackson, that's the name of the dog, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, his name's Jackson.
So what kind of birds do you hunt out there in Arizona? Because we're not familiar with that area.
We have doves and quail. So mainly just doves, and it's about to be quail season here. So instead of him going and like sitting with me and retrieving them, I kind of just need him to flush them, shoot them, and then grab them for me when I can't find them.
Gotcha. Okay, kind of like partridge hunting here in Michigan.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's a flush dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a little tough because I got him rattlesnake trained, and there's so many bloody rattlesnakes out here that sometimes he just does a 30-yard loop around me, and I need him to find birds, but he's avoiding rattlesnakes. So sometimes it gets a little tricky.
Nice.
Don't want no snakes.
And they have a dove season out in Arizona.
Yeah, we don't have those in Michigan.
Because we have a pretty bird.
Yeah, ours are songbirds here. Our doves are songbirds, so we're not allowed to shoot them. But as soon as they fly south and cross the state line into Ohio or Indiana,
they shoot them.
They change. They metamorphosize into a game bird. It's amazing how that happens.
Isn't it? Yeah, so we got the mourning doves and then some white-winged doves and another one as well. I think it's more rare or than the northern part of the state or down by Mexico or something.
Okay. Well, speaking of hunting, you sent us a couple pics. We got some deer and we got a nice hog here. Where do you want to start with?
Whatever one you got pulled up first, we can talk about whichever.
Okay, we got a nice velvet buck here. Tell us about this.
Velvet buck. So I believe that is the deer I just shot on my Utah backpacking hunt. Was up there for about 9 days, and what an incredible hunt it was. It was super tough. Everyone going up there told me it was a drought year, so like deer might be minimal, it may not be that big. Sure enough, it was super dry, but the hunting was great. It took I believe I killed him on day 5, and I didn't see he was the 3rd shooter buck. And when I mean shooter buck, I'm not necessarily trying to shoot a giant, but I kind of want to shoot a mature deer or more of a mature deer. He was kind of young, but didn't go. He was the first stock I went on in 5 days. It was a 2.5-hour stock, and capitalized on the one shot that he gave me. And like I said earlier in the show, out hunting west, you may take shots out past 60 yards, and I shot him at 75 and hit him through both shoulders. And like Rut Daniel says, I don't know if you know of him, but he didn't go 20, so it was pretty awesome.
He didn't go 20. Right? So 75 yards. Was it warm, or were you up in the cool?
Yeah, it was actually super warm. So I think I killed him at about 9,000 feet. So the whole backpack and the whole hunt was at about 8,200 to about 10,000 feet. And we were about 4 miles in. Where I killed him was in a different spot. So we were in a completely different area. We were only about a mile. I think the pack out was 2 miles, actually. So it wasn't too bad. But, yeah, so it was about 70-some degrees every day. So not too cold. They said it was pretty warm for up there, but I thought it was amazing. So
it looks like you had pretty good skies that day. Look, they're crystal clear and blue.
Yeah, so we had 1.5 days of we were tented for about 3 in the afternoon to about 9 in the morning the next day, just with heavy rain and hail way back in there one day. But other than that, it was phenomenal hunting. Clear skies, no wind, nice and cool. Deer activity everywhere. So
75 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a poke.
Hey, if you practice it,
it's easy.
It's easy.
So, yeah, it's like I said, the bow, why I argue it's the best bow, just having the confidence in, I know in shooting out to 100 yards that this bow holds tight groups, not, I hit a pie plate at 100 yards. No, this bow shoots, like tennis ball size groups at 100 yards, not a pie plate size group. So,
you said that. The very first time after we got back from the shop of setting my bow up, I was over at Danny's house and we were shooting. And it was, 20 yards, okay, 30 yards, fine, 40, 50, 60 yards, still sticking them in the bullseye. Talk about confidence builder. I mean, it's just amazing. You're absolutely right. I haven't stepped out longer distance because we weren't able to shoot that kind of distance at his house. But
because we put it in the tree, through the trees. And
yeah, you didn't trim the trees high enough.
Well, I'm sorry.
But, every PSE I've shot with, I had a range at my old house where I could shoot out to 90 yards, and it's true. It's such a confidence builder.
Yeah, so I mean, if I could prefer, I would be, half the distance closer than 75 yards.
Right.
But that's just all that I was presented with the cliff that I was on and where he was at feeding in some timber. So.
Were you shooting downhill or uphill?
I shot him down. It's shooting downhill.
All right. So downhill, 75 yards. Didn't go 20.
No, he did not. He seriously didn't go. It was. I wish. The one time I wish I had a GoPro or I was a YouTuber and could have filmed it. Pretty amazing.
That's awesome, and it's a great looking velvet buck. I mean, a velvet buck is just awesome.
Now you said this is about 10,000 feet, right?
He's probably at about 9 right there.
Okay.
The top of that peak is about 10,000 nuts up behind me, I would say.
Okay, now as far as the air, I hunted in Colorado one time and we were at about, I want to say between 6,000 and 7,000 feet, and for a Midwest guy, flatlander, it took its toll on me. How did you adapt to that? I mean, where you're at normally, where you hunt out there in Arizona, are you hunting high? Are you hunting low? Did it bother you at all?
It definitely. So I think I had some good fortune on my side because I grew up in the mountains in Southern California at about 7,000 feet.
Okay.
But I will say it definitely took me about a day and a half to 2 full days to backpacking in, because I work out, I go to CrossFit 4 or 5 days a week, so I'm in shape and prepared, physically and mentally, but training at altitude is a whole different game. It definitely kicked my butt for the first day and a half too, just going in with, I wouldn't even say the heaviest of packs. It was just so out of breath that it definitely took a toll on me the first couple of days. And then once I adjusted and got more accommodated to it, it definitely seemed as it was easier to go more miles and further each day.
Well, Danny and I, we've kind of been on this workout thing for the last 2.5 years. Actually going into year 3 this month. Is that right, Dan?
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be 3 years. Actually, last week, the 10th.
The 10th.
This weekend. With that being said, there's something you said that kind of caught my attention. Is you said you're mentally prepared as well. What did you mean by that?
So, knowing that where I hunt, how I hunt, it's just knowing I'm going to be backpacking in. So, just being mentally prepared, knowing, all right, I got everything. I've talked to everyone I needed to talk to in terms of what to look for, what I need to bring in terms of food. So, just all the small things, knowing that you're mentally prepared. Obviously I'm prepared in the fact that I've been shooting and practicing, but do I have all the equipment? Do I have my 2,200 calories that I'm going to eat every day mentally prepared to go in? Do I know what I'm getting myself into in terms of like rain gear? So I look at it, and when I say mentally prepared, just kind of the small things, the stuff that could honestly be a huge factor. If you forgot your stakes or something in your sleeping bag system, or you forgot your water filter and you're 4 miles in, so now when you run out of your 3 liters of water that you packed in, you have to pack out instead of being able to filter out everything, or your tabs, or so.
Just being prepared for everything and just going through a mental checklist of that you're ready to go.
Yeah, and another thing too with it is, like I said, I didn't stalk a deer for 5 days. So everyone's got this, watches YouTube, goes on Instagram, all they see are big deer that are killed in the backcountry. And for the first 4 days, I went into the backcountry and I saw 70 forks. And, so you just got to be mentally prepared that you got to keep after it. Just, as one of my good friends and guys that shoots for us, Sam Davis says, predators never quit. So they never quit. You just got to stay after it.
Well, you probably sat on top of the hills glassing till one that you said, okay, that's the one. And like you said, you saw a deer, just ones that you weren't typically going to go after, that you set up in your mind that you wanted to go after for your hunt.
Right. Yep.
So no, it's all how you want to make the hunt, right? Now, if you would have been in I'm going to shoot the first thing that I see. Okay, you can do that too. It's up to you.
It's your tag. Yeah.
It's your tag.
And that's what I tell everyone, and I tell myself going after deer is that am I going to be happy walking up onto it? Did I enjoy the hunt so far? Did everything? And every deer I've killed, I've been grinning ear to ear when I put my hands on them. So it's just, you just gotta have fun with it and enjoy it.
Speaking of the deer, and the next picture we got up on the screen looks like a mule deer.
Mm-hmm.
That is a wide rack right there, my friend.
Where'd you get that one?
So that's a Arizona desert deer I shot in January of this year.
Wow.
Yep. So one of my spots that I found and that my roommate and I would always go to, and consistently seeing bucks, seeing deer. And my roommate, the second to last day of season, I'm going to throw him under the bus because he knows it. He opted to go to a completely different area, a new area neither of us had been to. And I was like, I'm going to go back to our same spot. And so I hunted solo that morning, and it was just wild. I watched him get his butt kicked, and then he was hopping along, and he was at about 250 yards from me working up this draw, actually, which was really weird compared to what the deer normally did the whole 2 months we were hunting this area. And I was like, I'm just going to cut him off. I know where he's going. Cut him off, and I got to 18 yards, and then when I first saw him again, and then he worked his way to 39 yards broadside in a perfect opening and double lunged him.
Wow.
So, yeah, by myself. So it was just wild.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Looks like you were shooting carbon there.
Yeah, so I was shooting the carbon at the time. It being cold. Two, I was shooting that bow very well at the time before I could get my hands on an EBL. So
now it looks like there's a little bit of elevation there behind you. What heights were you hunting at here?
Oh, it's kind of a deceiving picture, but that's it's in the desert, so that's got to be 4,000,
okay.
2,200 to 4,000.
That's still higher than we are here at Michigan.
Yeah, right.
I think we're like at 900 feet.
Right. So yeah. So no, that's an awesome buck. Love the rack on that one. And the next picture we got up is you with a pig.
Yeah. So that was a super good time. That was in just outside of Houston, Texas, earlier this year at the end of May. Went out there with some people that shoot for us. Met them and filmed an episode on TV for Final Descent Outdoors, and shot. It was crazy. They said to bring 24 arrows. So backtrack. So I've been to Texas on 2 different hog hunts to Texas, and now I'm gonna just talk the S word on every Texan there is that says they have hogs on their land, because they don't. 2 times to Texas to hunt hogs. Never saw a hog. So I was really skeptical to go back to Texas to go hog hunting. But got wind that my man Billy has Hog Heaven, Hog Wild Adventures, and they said bring 24 arrows, and I wish I would have brought 24 arrows because I shot 11 pigs and had to reuse arrows. It was insane, guys. It was I was probably seeing north of 200 pigs a day. Mm. It was unreal.
Did you see them all day long, or was it like
all day, from sunrise to sunset?
Were you walking after them, or?
Well, yeah, we did. So that one that I shot, sitting behind there, I shot on a tree stand. But yeah, we did. We would stalk usually midday when they were kind of more just laying out in the sun and not doing anything, and then sit over the feeders and stuff when they're like morning and evenings.
Jeez. So next time you're going to bring 36 arrows because
yes,
but like you said, your previous experience is what led you to believe that we're going to shoot a pig, right? So,
and I just like to give my Texas friends some hard loving, but yeah, there's hogs out there. There's nothing like, if anyone out there wants to go hunt hogs, call Billy at Hog Wild Adventures. You can find him on Instagram and everything. It's unreal. You're guaranteed to shoot, and when I mean guaranteed, if you don't shoot something, it's just you
didn't want to shoot.
Yeah, you didn't want to. You didn't pull the trigger. You
right.
Throw a rock and you're gonna hit pigs. It's so much fun.
And if you're gonna shoot, you better bring 24 arrows.
Yes, because Billy's gonna tell you to reload. Keep reloading.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what. Was it all the pictures?
That's what I got.
Okay, so typically you're a new guest, so I can throw these questions at you. At the end of the show, we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. We learned about PSE and what you do for PSE and your hunting adventures. And we got a couple questions we'd like to ask all our guests. So one of the first things is, so you're driving to your hunting spot or you're driving wherever to go hunting. What are you listening to on the radio?
So I play this one song every time I go out, and knock on wood, but I kill a deer every time I listen to this song, and like specifically remember I'm listening to the song on purpose. Yeah, I'm looking it up for you guys right now.
So you've got a specific song to kill a deer.
Yeah.
You know Bobby's going to be walking in tomorrow playing this.
Right?
So it's, I'll put it up to the screen. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's unapologetically country.
Ha
And it's hell by party.
There you go.
All right. So you're listening to that song to go kill a deer.
Yes, that's I have to play it every time I go out, just because he references deer hunting in it and stuff, and it just reminds me of stuff that I've done. So,
All right. So you've made it out to your killing spot. You've got your backpack. What's your favorite snack that's in your backpack?
because you can't go hunting snackless. That's like
That's
a
right.
hard sin. So one, I have to pack in coffee, no matter even though I usually have like my JetBoil make coffee while I'm out there. But if I'm driving somewhere, let's just say I'm in Arizona, coffee's a must, and I 100% buy some sort of or make before I go out every time, like a egg, sausage, biscuit, or breakfast sandwich. I have to have a breakfast sandwich. But I guess then a snack, I always have candy and those Honey Crisp waffle snack. I don't even know what they are, but they're like a waffle Honey Crisp thing.
Yeah. So you got to have those, huh?
Those payday bars are always in my hunting pack too.
Can't go wrong with a payday, my friend.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so-
Paydays are good.
I got to call somebody out right now. I was out kayaking last week. There was a bunch of us. We were up on the upper stretches of the Manistee, and they were handing out candy along the way. I mean, it was like we were trick-or-treating between kayaks. Well, Nancy, my girlfriend, she's passing them along, and she kept the paydays. She didn't give me one. I didn't know she had them. And after she gave them, she goes, "Yeah, I feel guilty. I gotta admit that I didn't give you a payday." So
Nice.
I'm calling her out. I'm calling her out on that. That's just wrong.
That's so wrong.
All right. Another question. Your favorite type of whether it be a venison meal or you're going to cook Mike and Dan a meal. What kind of game meal would you make us?
We're going to have some backstrap steaks, and we're going to have some veggies, and I'm talking like peppers, like bell peppers. We're 100% going to have a jalapeno diced, like cut split up so you can eat it on top of your steak. And then asparagus. I love asparagus, so it's going to be like bell peppers, asparagus, a nice steak, and you're going to have some rice with it. That's my go-to meal right there.
I've not heard anybody ever say that before when we asked them that question.
Which one?
Well, I mean, they always say back straps, but everybody's got their own thing to it. But he went so far as to, with the extras as well.
I'm all right with that.
I am too. Sounds good to me.
I'm ready to go to Arizona for my steak dinner.
Right?
That's what I'm cooking up. You're coming over. That's what we're having.
There you go.
And the last question we got for you is, so we've enjoyed your steak. We're going to sit by the campfire, and you're going to tell us a story, a hunting related or something in your life about the outdoors or archery, whatever it is, that you would want to tell us that really hit you as a story to tell us.
Me telling the story. I would definitely be I can contest to this. I'd definitely be a better storyteller if I had a couple lemonades in me. And then things could just turn for a wild turn. But if I'm just hanging out telling, probably that a photo of a deer I didn't send you is the California state record deer that I should have that he's technically not the state record of is that's a pretty wild story. So
the state record that wasn't.
The state record that wasn't correct.
There you go.
He was on the wrong side of the freeway. Is why he's not the state record.
There you go. So there you go. That's our questions we typically ask everybody, and then I'll slip you an extra 20, and then you can tell me a Bobby Vargas story.
Yeah.
And then we'll go at it.
I got so many extra.
Trust me.
Oh, we gotta get Bobby there to give him the lemonades that he owes him, so we can.
There you go.
There you go.
I like it.
Exactly.
Oh, I tell you what, man, we've taken about an hour, a little over an hour here with you tonight. We appreciate you taking time out of your night. Talk bows, talk hunting, all kinds of good stuff. Hang on, we're going to wrap up the show, but hang on and we'll chat right after we get done here. But for everybody that's out there listening, make sure you go over, find Cade over on Facebook, social media pages, give him a like, follow, share. Do the same thing with PSE. We've got a lot of forums of PSE Archery that we belong to. Make sure to do the same for them as well.
And go check out their website, too, if you want to check out the bows that are coming. And, as we teased, and stay tuned for the next couple of months. It sounds like PSE is coming out with some more stuff.
Tuesday, right? Tuesday is going to be the first reveal?
Yep, Tuesday. So everyone stay tuned. Look out Tuesday for a new bow that's coming out.
All right, awesome. Good deal there. So we'll definitely be sharing some stuff about that coming up as well. And if you're listening to the podcast, go on iTunes, go over, give us a review over there. That helps us. It helps people that support us, and like our title sponsor here, PSE Archery tonight. It helps everybody out. We would really appreciate that as well. Share the show as well if you could, please. So that's going to do it. Next week, Danny, who do we have on? We got anything scheduled?
Next week, we've got, I do believe, Brett King.
Brett's coming on next week?
Yeah, I think it's after the championship, so I think Brett is on next week.
Okay, so next week's a Yamaha week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to have Brett King on, and...
Are we doing Wednesday night?
No, I don't think so.
Because I'm going to be out of town Thursday.
Well, we'll talk about it after the show.
All right.
Way to go.
Stay tuned, everybody. So, all right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll see everybody again sometime next week. Either Thursday or
Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday if we're on. And I do believe we have Brett King lined up.
All right, that'll do it for us this week, folks. Y'all take care. We'll see you again.